After 6 months with the Switch 2, let's take a look to see if this thing is actually worth buying, and there's a lot to cover.
Oh, yes, there is. So strap in.
What I think's nice with these kind of like looking back after actually months of using it is that the hype's diminished, our initial excitement has kind of faded down to like just day-to-day use. What's it like as a daily driver? So you get a more kind of realistic review of should you consider buying this Christmas time, January sales? Should you consider this as your handheld console of choice? I want to start off with some of the kind of the smaller features that are kind of overlooked as well.
Yeah.
Right, it's time for me to pay the 128 KB bills with today's totally impartial video sponsor, and yes, it is of course MOBAPAD, and I'm excited for this one because in case you missed the Black Friday sales madness like me, MOBAPAD have your back as they're about to open their massive Christmas sale starting on December the 22nd. We're talking 15% off pretty much everything site-wide, so what's the one thing you should be grabbing with that new discount? I think the M6 HD bundle should be pretty high up on your list. You get the M6 HD Joy-Cons, which are still the absolute king, with their Omron mechanical switches and Zero Drift Hall effect sticks. Plus, the bundle comes with the C70 Pro adapter, so they snap right onto your new Switch 2 and work perfectly. With this sale, you can get that whole bundle for $86.99. That matches their Black Friday price exactly. That sale runs until January the 5th, so hit the link in the description to grab yours, and by doing so you will be directly supporting what we do here. And of course, massive thanks to MOBAPAD for sponsoring this video. The first one, GameChat.
GameChat, yes, which is the mysterious C button, which nobody knew what it was for, and we kind of coined it at the time. We were like, that's got to be a chat feature, come on. And it's really surprising for Nintendo because they've actively avoided it, like in every way possible. They've had random like headset accessories now and again for specific games over the years, but they've never really put an actual voice chat thing in their system. And it kind of makes sense because they're very much like they don't want people being rude, and there's children at play here, so they've always had this kind of like slight concern with GameChat. But for them to actually put GameChat in the Switch 2, I was really excited. But GameChat ended up being an absolutely standout, incredible feature. Like, it really, really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for Nintendo to... it was hard for Nintendo to embrace kind of social features for all the reasons you said. They've always shied away from it. And because of that, it was hard for them to really demonstrate how cool it was going to be. And in the typical kind of Nintendo marketing advert fashion, it was kind of, I always say like their promotions always feel like they're watered down and a bit fluffy.
They always dumb them down because they want to broaden the appeal base there. They don't want to get too techie. They don't want to get too specky. So, yeah.
But the implementation of how the microphone works, the noise cancellation, how GameChat actually then operates inside the games, even like the camera as well. I'm going to lump that into GameChat slightly as well.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like it was an enhancing feature to your Switch 2 experience over all. It really augmented the kind of social experience that the Switch 2 now offers, whereas you've never had that before.
Yes.
It is genuinely a beautiful thing. And it was surprising because we had kind of totally overlooked it.
We did originally because it was like, okay, yeah, cool, like it is what it is. It's probably not going to be that good. But with the inclusion of NVIDIA's noise cancellation on the microphone, it made this, I'm going to say it, the best game chat feature out of any of the consoles that ever has been. Like, this is the best way, because on every other console, you need a microphone and a headset. Otherwise, you're getting bleed back from the game feeding back through the microphone. Like, you get interference from other people being around. It's just horrible. But this noise cancellation thing is incredible. You can have your Switch literally like 3-4 meters away under the TV and just have that as your microphone whilst having someone speaking on the other end coming through your TV speakers, having a game come through your TV speakers, and none of it interfering in the microphone. It is so unbelievably clean. And for me, I kind of get this kind of weird anxiety of like, oh, I've got to get a headset out. I've got to load up the chat. Now if I'm playing with my wife or whatever, she can't hear the game because I've got headphones on. Like, it's all this weird, clunky... Like, I feel like we've entered into, like, the future with Switch 2's GameChat, because I can have the thing docked with speakers on and we can both interact with whoever's on the other side. It's just an incredible experience.
And it just works. We all know the pain of going into like a Call of Duty lobby or a multiplayer lobby of any kind, and someone's using like the mic on their controller for a play. It's like horrendous. You can hear the music in the background, and it's like feedback. It just, it's just like, oh, just mute it. Just mute that person and don't talk to them. This is like the polar opposite. It's the ease of that, and Nintendo do things to make it easy for players better than anyone else. But above all, they do that, and they're kind of like goal for everything, the zenith of Nintendo is like consistency of performance. It doesn't have to be the best performance, and it's not the best sound quality, but it's easy to use and it's consistently good.
Yes. Then
that's what they've done, and they've set the bar really high on the kind of social experience baked in. It's phenomenal. And that kind of leads me on to the second one I want to talk to that I've just added to the list as a surprise for you, and that's performance. Like performance of games. And again, following the same idea of what I was just saying about the audio quality of like GameChat, it's not like the most supreme. It's not like a beautiful condenser microphone in front of your mouth. This isn't. We're not talking about bleeding edge performance, but the step up in performance from Switch 1 is like night and day.
Absolutely mind-blowing. I never thought we would get that. It's like Nvidia themselves said something like 10 times the performance of the Tegra, that was in the original Switch. And when the announcement came where they finally told us that we'd be getting 4K 60 on a tablet that costs like, $500 or less, like I was like, what? I never thought that they would enter the race. Like, and again, GameCube was the last time they cared about performance, and I never thought they would go back, because they've always been fun over bleeding edge, and that's always been their thing. Look at the Game Boy. There was the Sega Game Gear that was out with a color screen, but they decided to release the black and white screen, or the green screen.
Green and grey.
And that was a phenomenal success because they weren't chasing bleeding edge. It was all about fun, and I feel like they've really captured both sides here. They've brought it up to a modern day standard with being capable of doing 4K 60. It's not even 4K 30 on some games like Metroid Prime 4, whilst also having the ability to keep pushing fun games. The performance blows my mind from this. The inclusion of NVIDIA's DLSS saves it. Absolutely saves it. And it's not just docked performance that surprises me. It's also handheld performance. It's just really, really good. Whether you like the Switch 2 or not, you cannot deny that this thing is incredibly efficient and hits amazing performance for that efficiency.
And we're getting little glimpses of the future with that, with some of the games that are coming out right now. Metroid Prime 4 is a great example. Some of the Ubisoft games that have dropped as well. When games have been like absolutely optimized and developed for this system, yes, you're not getting the like same fidelity or ray tracing as some of the other consoles maybe that people are comparing this to. It's not going to sit up there with the PS5 Pro. That's not the point.
Yes.
But you're getting good visuals at consistently locked in experiences, which I will say no other console offers that.
No.
That locked in. How locked in is Metroid Prime 4 and its performance? It's like
incredible.
Rock solid, doesn't move.
Yeah.
You're getting up to 120 FPS, 720 handheld. It looks great even at 720, but that performance is insane. If it doesn't look quite high fidelity enough for you, you've got 1080 60, and it locks it there, it doesn't move.
Yes.
60, you want 60, you have it 60 the whole time.
Yeah, and considering that the Switch 1 couldn't even really put out 1080p 60 docked, this can lock in 1080p 60 handheld and go up to 4K 60 locked. Like, it's mind-blowing. It really, really is. And again, that efficiency, the power draw is so unbelievably low. Like, if you clocked a PS5 down to the amount of power that this is putting out, it would be like 1 FPS. You know,
wouldn't it? Yeah,
it just wouldn't be possible. So it is like, it blows my mind, the performance of this thing, and the ultimate goal here is it makes games more fun because they're more stable. You're not worrying about what's happening visually or performance-wise like you were with Switch 1, where you would have game-breaking experiences where the performance was so bad, I'm looking at you, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that it detracts from the game, and it actually actively made me want to avoid it. Whereas now with the Switch 2, performance is so good, performance isn't even in my mind anymore. I am focused on the game. It pulls me in. It's more immersive because I don't have to worry.
It's definitely lived up to the hype in that sense. One thing that that had no hype and even failed to meet that is GameShare.
Yeah, this one was really disappointing.
You've put a really expletive word after GameShare.
That wasn't me. I didn't write that. Yeah. Unfortunately, this was one of my most hyped for features because GameShare effectively means you can buy one copy of the game and play with multiple people on multiple systems.
Yeah.
And for me and my wife that have to buy the same game twice every single time to play any kind of multiplayer, any kind of co-op, it gets expensive, especially in this day and age. So GameShare I was very excited for. I thought this is the one and done. I could buy one copy of every Switch game now and not have to worry. And unfortunately, it is awful. It's absolutely awful. Like, the streaming bitrate quality is terrible. Like, it's just not there at all. And I felt really let down on. So in my head, this isn't even a feature that the Switch can do. GameShare is just not even there because it's rubbish. So if you're relying on that, don't.
No, it's sadly didn't meet the mark. The screen, which kind of sits in line with performance, but the screen, I'm going to say it's my favourite sized screen in a handheld right now. I think they've got the size perfectly balanced. It's a 1080 panel, can go up to 120 hertz. It's like one step away from being perfect.
Yeah. I would say there's 2 steps away from being perfect for me, but one majorly. I mean, the inclusion of VRR is incredible. Like, I never expected that from Nintendo. I never even thought that they would put a 1080p 120 screen on it. You know, I was thinking like maybe it would just be another 1080p 60, like, you know, something like that. But with 120 plus VRR, providing that the game developers actually utilize that, then incredible. Because there are some games that they don't support the VRR and it kind of is bad, but that's down on the devs. But the fact it's got HDR is a good thing. This is where it gets that's where it gets let down. I'm glad it's got it because it tries. It's certainly not like a certified. It's like a fake HDR. It can't compare to true HDR, sadly.
Am I right in remembering it's a 500 nit peak brightness?
I'm not too sure on the HDR side, but in general, I believe that it's got a 500 nit peak. But it might be a peak in the HDR, in which case, then it would be even lower on SDR.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot to love about the performance of the screen, the size of the screen. Put a matte screen protector on it. That's absolutely was our advice. And then it looks super premium. Matte's not for everyone, though, I know. Before launch, everyone was bemoaning the fact that it wasn't OLED, and that's a step down, or that just going to release an OLED in a few years. We talked about this until we're like literally sick about talking about screens. OLED, VRR, doesn't play nice. Now that Lenovo have managed to actually put something into the market, that's going to make people talk about this more.
Yes.
I still think we're way off Nintendo being able to put an OLED with VRR in their devices.
I think we'll probably see it, like, if they're thinking about treating the Switch 2 like the Switch 1 and doing an 8-year life cycle, then I reckon we'll see it in 3 years' time. Then, because Lenovo have done it, and the Switch is using NVIDIA, with DLSS, I think it will totally be able to get around VRR flicker on OLED panels, because it's kind of there now with Lenovo's crazy expensive, Legion Go 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like in 3 years' time, then we might possibly see an OLED VRR panel in a Switch 2 variant. But the thing is, it will drive the price sky high. So whether or not they do it, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say.
But what I will say is, for those of you that were sat unsure on the fence because maybe you're coming from a Switch OLED and you're like, I don't know if I want the step down. The screen's great. The screen is great. Not everything is what it is on paper. OLED, when you're looking at a still image, you're watching a movie or something, is undeniably the best experience. But when we're talking about handheld consoles, then there's a lot more to it than just an OLED.
Yeah, exactly. And I would take the performance and potential for VRR over the absolutely outdated performance from the Switch OLED now. The OLED screen is incredible, but the thing runs like a potato now. So I will take the performance, which is tenfold on the Switch 2, and have a slightly worse looking screen in terms of color reproduction. But I will take 120 hertz VRR with more performance over the OLED any day.
Any day, I'm with you as well. Something else that's been massively overlooked as well is mouse mode.
Absolutely. Totally.
As it shows
agree.
Behind you right now.
It does right now with Metroid Prime 4 playing behind me. Yeah, mouse mode is incredible. Do not overlook this feature. I think it has been overlooked. And and with the push with Metroid Prime 4, I really hope that Nintendo include more games with this play style, which I'm sure they will, because it seems like a big push for them. But games like Red Dead Redemption that support it, Cyberpunk supports it, Metroid supports it, and there's other games as well. For first person or any kind of shooter, even third person shooters like Red Dead Redemption, it is the ultimate way of playing it, because the joysticks on the Joy-Cons unfortunately are terrible because they're too small. You can't aim accurately. They're fine for any other kind of game, but any kind of shooter, no. So mouse mode is the way to go. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that they included it obviously with intention and with intent, and it was their kind of showpiece for this console. Every console, Nintendo seemed to have a showpiece, let's say gimmick in some way.
Yes.
They do something different each time. Yes. And mouse mode was it this time, really.
I'm so glad about that.
But I don't think they've actually realised what they've done. I think they were probably thinking about their first party titles, like what can they do with like Mario Party, like what implementations can they do? Games like that wheelchair basketball game.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that's where their head was at with it. What you're just saying, absolutely, I don't think was their thought was that, all these kind of shooter games, we've actually made the most accessible, perfect kind of shooting platform now.
Yeah. And it's all native. You don't have to go buy a mouse or anything. You turn the thing on its side. This is far better than playing any shooter on PlayStation or Xbox. I agree with you. And it actually makes the Joy-Cons totally viable as a control input when kind of playing handheld without grips and stuff. They're still the problem, which actually leads us really nicely onto one of the negatives that have really stuck with me and hasn't left is the ergonomics. Yeah.
I need to almost put an apology out, because when it was like the preview, when we went to the preview event and got hands-on in April, and then at launch, we were excited by how much the ergonomics have improved.
But that is true.
Switch.
That is true. So it
have
is
improved.
Greatly improved versus the Switch. It's just now that we've not touched the Switch in so long, and we're just focusing on the Switch 2, and we've had the luxury of being able to get hands-on with the Xbox Ally X, the Lenovo Legion Go 2, the MSI Claw devices and stuff like that, which are just ultimately way more ergonomic than the Switch 2. Now you're kind of comparing them to that instead of the Switch 1. Yeah, the ergonomics start to fall apart a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and I also think, much like mouse mode showed... Metroid showed us that mouse mode's actually way more relevant than we realised. It also showed us that the ergonomics of the Switch handheld aren't great for twin stick games or shooters in general.
Yes.
The layout of the sticks is wrong, your position in your hand is wrong, the thinness of the device, although it's beautiful to look at and first hold, long play sessions you're still gripping it weirdly. You need third-party Joy-Cons or grips, and as of yet, there's not many that you would recommend on the market yet.
No, there's one that fixes everything because it's just ergonomically correct, which is the Satisfy Zen Grip 2. I've literally got one just next to me. And that just fixes it because it's got like an asymmetrical, like it's not symmetrical. The grip accommodates for the weird asymmetrical joystick layout. You know, it's the only thing that really truly feels natural so far.
There are people working on Joy-Cons. I know MOBAPAD, who we've worked with for a long time, they are working on it. It's going to come out next year.
Yes.
I think Cracked have just announced the new Nitro deck.
They did at the Games Award, yeah.
So there's things coming that are going to improve the ergonomics, but it's much the same as the problems that were with the Switch 1. You're going to need third-party things to make this perfect.
Yes, yeah. Out of the gate, yeah, it's uncomfortable for any twin-stick shooters or any shooters, unless you're using mouse mode.
But that said, I will say that Switch 2 on your 4K TV is actually now a realistic option, whereas before on the Switch, especially as we got into like 2024, 2025, playing Switch on your TV just wasn't a viable option anymore.
It looked like a retro console.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it started to really fall apart. It's now viable, so if you're getting this not as a handheld thing, but as a main TV console, the ergonomics don't matter.
Just look at, well, yeah, that's totally true. And also you're going to get an amazing time. Like, look at Metroid Prime 4, 4K 60. Yeah. It looks phenomenal. If I had someone rig that up and put like a fake PC in front of the TV and said that they were playing that on a PC, I'd believe them. You know, it is incredible. It looks amazing. Yeah, I'm still impressed by the performance.
Talk to me about backwards compatibility then.
I think this is great. They were honest out of the gate that not everything works. So it's a very small minority, but they've been actively in the background been fixing games and getting games that they said previously didn't even work at all to be completely playable now, or games that had certain issues. They're working through it. It's only been 6 months, so they are working through it, and I just love the fact that I've got like a massive Switch 1 collection, and 99.9% of those games I can drop in and play, and there's the ability with certain ones to either get free upgrades. Look at Red Dead Redemption, just because, you know, it's probably been playing behind me at some point. That's a free upgrade if you own the original, and most of mine are physical as well. So I still get those free upgrades even though I've got the physical version. You've got paid upgrades or upgrades that are included with the Nintendo Switch Online. Like the Zelda upgrades are an absolute must-have. Like it completely changes those games. There are so many more backwards compatibility like upgrades as well that will be coming in the future. But just the fact that even without upgrades, I can play my old catalogue. And if the game, let's take like Bayonetta, is uncapped, you're still going to benefit from the more powerful chip that's found in the Switch 2. You're going to get more consistent frame rates. Any games that were before like tanking a little bit will now just be locked. So you are getting a benefit even just playing your old games on the Switch 2 without even needing to buy new Switch 2 titles, you know. So I'm really happy that they didn't just cut it off and be like, no, you know, Switch 2 only. It's nice. Good. Yeah.
It shows us at least the intention for the immediate future that Switch is the Switch wasn't a single generation thing. It's not just a name Switch 2. They're actually supporting it beyond that, and it's nice. It's nice, and I hope they just keep doing it. We've said it before that they turn this into like their iPhone, and it's like Switch 3, Switch 4.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like they could just keep doing that, and they've won because it's best of both worlds. It's actually now like a really good home console because it's so powerful.
Yeah, I agree,
and it utilizes that extra power by being docked. But it's also a very capable handheld console. You know, when you're playing games like Metroid or Star Wars Outlaws at like such low wattages, but it looks incredible. It has ray tracing in it. Like, you know, it's
cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. It's madness, where we're at.
Yeah. And that's actually a really nice final part. It's the games. And that kind of that whole part of games kind of is where I sit this as a recommendation. I still will say, if you're only going to have one console right now, I think it's the Switch 2, personally.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, yeah.
The combination of first-party games, which are dropping right now, which are amazing, third-party games that are going to be perfectly optimized for it, and all of those backwards compatibility games from the Switch 1 generation and third-party stuff on Switch 1 as well. It's got such a breadth of catalogue, such an ease of use, and such good performance that it's impossible to look past. And for its price, what are we talking now? Is it $450 with Mario Kart? Or
yeah, I think it was $430 with Mario Kart, I believe. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, just the console on its own, $385 in the UK.
Yeah, that's amazing.
There's just, you can't look past that.
No. And the fact that you're getting both a home console and a handheld here, it's buy one, get one free.
And the Mario Kart World Bundle in one of the major high street retailers, are just looking, $409. When it launched, everyone was scared about the price. Yeah, but now looking at where the market's sitting for handhelds and for consoles in general, it looks cheap now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we always thought it was amazing value. We never really understood where people were coming from with that, but it is really good value. The performance you're getting here, the versatility is what really gets me. When you buy an Xbox or a PlayStation, it's a box under your TV. That is where it lives, and you have a controller, and that is it. The Switch 2 you can take anywhere with you, continue your saves, play online if you want to, play offline if you want to, play on your TV. You can play docked, you can play tabletop mode, you can play handheld, you can play mouse mode, you can two Joy-Cons it between people. Like, the play possibilities here are almost endless, and I think that's where this really shines, because you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. It's incredible.
And that spectrum of games from what you imagine Nintendo to be, which is either super cartoony or super party, family friendly. It goes from that right through their first party stuff like Metroid Prime 4, right over to those more adult console-like games like Cyberpunk and stuff.
And there's just been more and more coming, and we'll see more next year, I think.
Yeah, we will.
Because we're getting Resident Evil Requiem 9 day one on the Switch 2. It's not even delayed. It's not 6 months later. On the release on every single console, it's coming to the Switch 2. That just says it all, and that's a full-on adult, 18+ game. So
I don't think there's nothing else that offers that versatility of playstyle, that versatility of game type.
No, absolutely
and that ease of access to all of it.
Yes,
it just doesn't exist anywhere else.
No, it doesn't. No.
And so, yes, despite us not giving it the love it deserves recently because other things have been launched, 6 months with the Switch 2, I think, has shown us that it is an absolute no-brainer. If you're considering it right now, maybe you're watching this in January and the sales are on. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a last-minute Christmas gift for yourself or whatever. It's an easy yes for me to recommend it. It's just
absolutely.
Easy.
Hands down yes from me. Yeah. It's a must buy, I would put it at. It's a must buy, yeah.
Yeah, and like I've said before, I've said it in various other videos, if I was in a situation where I'd only have one console, for me it would be the Switch 2.
And I think I'm with you. Yeah. If everything got removed from me today, including all my games, and I'd start everything again, I'd get a Switch 2. Knowing that I've got stuff like Cyberpunk to Resident Evil to Mario to Donkey Kong to Metroid, literally, this is the only console where you can play pretty much everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole breadth of stuff, because it's the only place you can play Nintendo games. So if you enjoy Nintendo games as well, this is kind of like where you want to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I'd love to know in the comments, do you already have a Switch 2 or are you considering it? Let us know if you recommend it, if you've got it, to someone else that doesn't. Let us know all of that down in the comments down below. Whilst you're down there, please do like the video. Subscribe for more handheld gaming content.
Yes.
What else should they do, Andy?
Become a member and you get to chat to us on our Discord as well.
Yeah, so until the next time.
Bye.